Welcome everyone. So this practice is designed to be the warm-up for a handstand session. So working with the idea that you have some level of handstand practice, this is a good warm-up that will kind of move through the full body, specifically targeting the wrists, the shoulders, the elbows, working in a little bit of ideas around handstand alignment. You certainly don't need a warm-up that's going to be quite as long as this, but it never hurts, especially when you're first starting out. So we'll jump into this. We're going to start with standing joint rotations. First one being just circling our neck. So you can relax your head down and then start to make big circles with your head all the way around the shoulders. So you're feeling for the connection from the base of the skull and base of the chin all the way to the shoulder blades and neck and chest. And then as your head comes down, you're just going to switch directions, going the other way. If any of you at home can hear my dog right now, you can just know that she's really cute. So when your head comes down, you're going to lift your head back up and start to roll your shoulders. We'll post a link to her Instagram in the description. So you're rolling your shoulder blades, getting the scapula moving. This is so important for handstands. Go the other way. So I do a lot of these joint rotations for any kind of warm-up I'm doing, whether it's first thing in the morning or flexibility class. Let's switch to the hands and wrists, making circles. And I try to just specifically tailor my warm-up by little bits to for what the purpose of the workout is. So this is a handstand, we'll just do a slightly different routine. And then go the other way with your wrist circle. And then a few times we'll circle our elbows. So you're straightening the elbows out, bring them in close to the chest, and then try to fully extend the elbows. Do it one more time. Arms are circling. Ooh, nice crack. And then for a moment, let's just stretch the arms all the way up overhead, like we were in a handstand. So you're trying to lift the shoulders up to the ears as much as you can. You can think press the ceiling away. And it might get tiring, but just keep doing it, because handstand will definitely be harder. If you can, try to draw your ribs down as you lift the arms up. Maybe a few flicks through the hands. And just let it relax. Shake out the arms, shake out the legs. Try not to get stuck. And we'll do a few times. Circles through the arms, let it come up really high and circle back. The shoulder lifts up to the ear, covering the neck, circle it back. We'll do it one more time. Well, we'll actually go the other way, 2 times. Any of these, if you feel like you need a little bit more, feel free to catch up or pause the video at home. Let's switch to the other arm. Shoulder up high, arm circles back. Finding that rotation in the shoulder as the arm goes back. And then we'll switch directions. So we're just getting some gentle heat going. Let's go back to the other arm. And this time, just let your chest turn as you make your circle. So you're taking up more space. Turn as far as you can in each direction. It's like you're trying to draw the biggest circle you can, even moving the body. Switch directions. Going for 2 the other way. Your arms can be, however, I like to have my hand on the rib, just so I can feel everything moving. Let's go with the other arm. So I think having that point of connection to your body is really nice for being able to feel what's actually moving. And then we'll go the other way 2 times. And then relaxing the arms down, we're going to arch our back. So for the arch, you're going to let your butt stick out, your chest lift up, it's a little back bend. And then you're going to round the spine, tucking your chin, tucking your tailbone underneath. You can go with wide arms. So the arms are stretching out to the side, opening across the chest. And then you can cross the elbows, spread your back as you round. We'll do that one more time. Big arch, open up, hollow and round, curl the spine. From there we transition to side bending, side to side. So I don't go through these, I don't spend quite as long in these as I would for a full flexibility session. Just trying to get a little bit of heat and introduce movement to different parts of my body. We can add the arm reaching for the lat stretch. We can take that side to side. And if ever you want to move around in these stretches or positions just to kind of loosen up, take your time to do that. From here, we'll go into an easy twist, loosening up a little bit more. And then, as you let the arms relax, we'll start to circle the hips. So you're moving your hips in a big circle. I'm thinking about working with the tilt of my pelvis as I do this. And I keep my knees a little bit bent. Go the other way with the hips. And then from here, we'll go feet together, hands on the knees, make some circles around the knees. And then, as you're ready, reverse your circle. Cool. From here, let's take fingertips to the ground, squat down into a little ball with your knees tight to your chest, heels lifted up high, knees squeezing together. And then you'll straighten your legs, and you'll start to fold forward, bringing your face down towards your ankles. Squat down, knees to chest. And then fold forward, lengthening down. One more time. Bend, look up, knees to the chest, and then fold face to feet. And then let that much go. You're going to separate the feet. Just roll yourself up to standing. And as you roll up to standing, we can find a few spinal waves. So you're arching the back as you hinge forward from the hips. And then round your spine, tuck the tailbone as you roll yourself up. Arch at the top, hinge forward. And then tuck the tailbone, roll it up. We'll go for two more. You can try to keep the legs straight as you do this. That'll be a little bit more challenging in the hamstrings. Ask for a little bit deeper flexibility. Last one. And then let's just find a few big circles with the arms. So let the arms come up to the ears, and then big circles. Switch, so each time trying to find full range of motion. And then the next time the arms are up top, just flick through the hands a few times. And let's interlace the hands and just fold the wrist, fold the wrist. And then if you want to add a little bit of articulation, you could find a little party wave through the hands. We'll switch that one more time just to see if you can do it. If it feels kind of dumb in the hands, it's okay. You'll get better. And let's relax that. Last direction or last big spinal movement is going to be rounding the back. So you tuck your chin and roll down through the spine, one vertebra at a time. And then you're going to bend the knees, lift the chin, lift the chest. You're arching to come up. So you round down, one vertebra at a time. And then lift the chin, lift the chest, arch to come up. Round. Arch up. Last one, round. Arch up. Cool. So when we're let that relax for a moment. From here, let's take the feet out wider, and you're going to turn your feet out to about 45 degrees. We're just going to squat down into the legs, kind of rock a little bit side to side, so you're getting those middle split muscles warmed up. Yeah, you can take a little twist through the spine if you want. I like the feeling of folding forward here and grabbing the elbows, swaying side to side, even finding little figure eights through the elbows. And then you can bring your torso up, stand up straight, So from here, we're going to turn the toes in and the heels out wide a bit. And you're going to start to send your hips forward. So you're finding that hip extension. You might try to keep straight legs as you do it. And then you're going to fold from the waist, hinging forward, finding this wide-legged good morning. So you go down to the degree that you can, and then let's just bring it up again. Hips forward, and then hinging down. Fold at the waist. And then bring it up all the way. From here, we're going to transition into a lunge. So you can step one foot back, keep the other leg forward as a lunge would go, and then try to position your body over your hips. And we're just going to take a few back knee bends, trying to stay progressively lower as we spend time in the lunge. So you come down low, you straighten the knee, draw the tail under, and then eventually let's straighten this front leg. The back foot can step in. This could be a nice moment to put blocks or anything to support under your hands if you need. And you're just working the stretch in the hamstring of your front leg. Give it a few moments here. And then roll yourself up, one vertebra at a time. And we'll just go ahead and switch legs. Other leg forward, other leg back. And you can have the hands on the thigh for support. If you had a stick is actually a really nice tool to balance as we start to take these back knee bends. So you're straightening the leg, getting low into the hips. A few more times. And then we'll straighten out our front leg and fold forward, lengthening our chest towards the ankle. So some of you can get down quite low and might be able to start to bring your head towards your foot. Or you use whatever sort of props help you access this at the appropriate level of stretch. Bending the front knee here can also be a really helpful tool. When you're ready, you're going to roll yourself up, one vertebra at a time. And then just stand up, shake it out a little bit. Last of these standing leg strengthening movements, we're going to play with tucking our tailbone underneath, sending the hips forward and the knees forward, so much so that your heels lift up off the ground. And you could just pause here, or you might be able to come down low enough that you're able to tap your heels and come up. And as you come up, hands to the fronts of the legs, you're going to fold forward at the waist. We'll do that one more time, coming all the way up, flat front of the hips, knees forward, hips forward. Go to the degree that you can. Some people might even be able to bring their knees to the mat. Unfortunately, I will not be showing that today. Hands to the fronts of the legs. Fold at the waist. And then come all the way up. And from here, we're going to transition to some more floor-based movements. Cool. So as we move down to the floor, we're just going to do a little bit of core work to bring awareness to the areas, to create a bit of heat. So we're going to start off with some rounding hollow exercises. So we're going to put feet on the floor. Feet together will be harder. Feet in closer to you will be harder. So you figure out what's working for you. And we're going to practice just rolling back one vertebra at a time. So you round your spine, and then the arms are going to come down over your head. At this point, we take a big inhale in. And with your exhale, you're going to reach forward. It's a strong breath, kind of like you're putting out a candle. We roll back, one vertebra at a time, arms overhead, big inhale. Exhale up. Strong sit up. If you want, bring the feet in closer, roll back. Inhale. Exhale. One more time. Rolling back. Inhale. Exhale. So from here, let's come into a tuck position with the feet off the ground. And we're just going to lift up one leg. Then you're going to bend that knee, try to straighten the other leg. Bend that knee, try to lift one arm up by your head. And then bring that arm down, bring the other arm up by your ear. Bring that arm down. So from here, we're gonna roll like a ball. So you're gonna inhale, rock back, exhale, rock forward. Inhale back, exhale, up. Try not to touch the feet to the floor. Inhale, exhale. 2 more. Last one. And then try to lift everything up. You can always hold the legs if you need to, or try to touch the toes. And then just put your feet on the floor, windshield wipe the knees a bit side to side. From here, let's just transition to laying down on our back into a hollow body position. So you can start with the knees tucked, you can be holding the knees. What's important is we have the lower back on the ground, shoulders up a bit. From there, the more we extend out from the center, the harder our hollow body position will be. We'll stay here for about 10 more seconds. And if you want, you can add a little bit of a tiny rock to it, either in the tuck, no hands, or in your full hollow body position. And relax. Lay on your back for a moment. Put your feet flat on the floor. We're gonna lift the hips up into a bridge. So you drive the hips up, find that little stretch in the front of the hips, and then just relax your body down. So you can either sit on top of the hands here, or the hands can be right next to your butt. You're gonna lift your legs up to the sky, try to keep your knees straight and your toes pointed, and you're gonna lower your right leg down in front of you. At the same time, use your left hip flexor to pull the leg in tight. It should suck. And then pull the right leg in and let the left leg go away. Right leg comes in, feel the cramp in the hip. We'll bring the left leg up, right leg down, right leg up, left leg down. You could always have your head down on the mat if your neck is getting tired. We'll do 1 more each side. And then we're gonna go to straddles. So you're going to open your legs up as wide as they go, and then close legs together. So you're opening the legs wide into the straddle, close the legs. We'll go for 3, 2, 1 more. And then, as your legs come up together, we're gonna try to lower both legs down, all the way to the mat, and then bring them up. I personally like to have the arms overhead like the hollow body as I do this. We'll go for 3, 2, okay, that seems like it was enough. Relax the arms down, put your feet on the floor, stretch out the hips in your bridge. Maybe punch your hip flexors a few times. Sweet. So let's go ahead and just rock up to a seated position. We'll send the legs out in front. Quick opportunity to stretch forward in your forward fold, either with bent knees, you could sit on top of something, or straight legs if that's available to you. It can also be nice to stretch one leg at a time. So you could find your single leg stretch, your Janu Shirsasana, if you're the yogi type. And again, hold anything longer if you want. Cool. So let's transition to laying down on our bellies. So you come down to tummy time, laying flat on your belly. Arms will be more this way? Yeah. Arms back by your side, palms facing up. So I press my feet down into the floor, and I inhale to come up. Eyes, chin, and chest lift, and we go for an externally rotated shoulder. And then lower down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower down. One more time, let's lift up. Keep breathing. You're gonna bring your arms out in front. And then from here, let's just go right arm up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reaching forward and up, hold, hold, hold. Switch arms.
Reach forward and up for 5, 4, should feel amazing, 3, 2, hold the arm up, 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 reach long and out, both arms down, lift your legs, 10, straight knees, pointed toes, something like 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, hold everything up, squeeze legs together, lift the arms up in front, 5, 4, 3, 2, and swimming for 5, 4, 3, 2, hold everything up, let it go. Whew. Press back into your child's pose. Hips onto your heels, head low to the ground. Just give yourself a moment to breathe. From here, you can come up to your tabletop. We're going to move into a last few preparations for handstand. Again, certainly don't need all of this, but if you have the time, and especially if you're newer, this sort of sequence can be really nice in developing a lot of the attributes, the strength and flexibility, that makes handstanding a lot easier at times. So we'll come to our tabletop, and we're just going to start with our scapula push-ups. So letting the shoulders sink, so the shoulder blades draw together on the back, retraction, and then you push the floor away, protract the shoulder blades. Retract, protract. And since we're going to be doing handstands, we want to feel what it's like to hold the protracted position. So stay pushing out, maybe lean a little bit forward into the fingertips and press the fingers into the mat. Stay pushing out, and then one time kind of sink in, and then push out strong, stay forward. Maybe even tuck the toes, lift the knees up off the mat. And release. Let's go for about 5 to 10 wrist push-ups. So we're working our wrist flexors here, really important to warm up those muscles. They help us not fall over in the handstand. They act as resistance. And then I think of these a lot as a mobility exercise also. So I really like this move of lifting the heels of the hands up and kind of rocking side to side as you do it. So you're rocking from index finger knuckle to pinky finger knuckle. And then when the hands come back down, we're going to turn the hands back to face the knees, and then turn the hands to face each other. So you're finding all the rotations of the shoulders, warming up the wrists at different angles. Depending on how flexible your shoulders are, it might also be really nice to find a shoulder stretch here. If you're very flexible, you might not need this, and it can, overstretching might even hurt the handstand in some ways. But if you're a little bit tight, something like this can be really nice just to make the handstand feel a little bit more natural. Like you're not asking for your absolute max range of motion every moment of it. As you're ready, we'll do backs of the hands just to give the wrist a nice little opposition. Turning the hands to face some different ways. And then just a few more things. Let's go ahead and bring the legs out in front, and we'll do a few leg raises. Let's say right leg out in front, and we'll go for 10, 9, 8, try to stay forward if you can. If you need to modify, hands can be back behind you. But it should feel like a pretty big cramp in the hip flexor. Let's hold the leg up and make little circles. Circle the other way. Lift it up. Let it go. I like to take a bridge here, so you can take the opposite arm back just to kind of stretch out that thigh for a moment. And then lower. Take a moment, stretch over that leg. And then we'll just switch to the other side. Spend longer on it if you need. We'll lift the leg up for 10, 9, modify if you need. Try to keep the leg straight and the foot pointed, even if it means the hands are behind you. If you want it to be harder, keep the palms flat, go further forward. We'll hold up and circle, and suffer, and switch. Keep going, deal with it, lift up. I know. Bridge. Stretch the arm over the head. Let that much go. Let's come forward to our tabletop position again. Oh yeah, we did that. Holds me accountable. We'll find our hamstring stretch. Bend the knee if you need. Sit on top of something if you need. And then we'll just finish up our warm-up with a few more things. So we're going to do a rolling vinyasa. So this is a movement. I originally learned this in Budokan. It's a yoga martial arts fusion system, but it's really nice. We're going to transition between an up dog and a down dog through a nice rolling movement. So feel free to watch the first one or follow along. We're going to start back in our downward facing dog. You're going to lift the heels up and roll yourself forward through your plank position, keeping that strong press in the shoulders as you lower the hips. The knees stay lifted, the chest lifts, shoulders down the back, and you're floating up dog. And then tuck the chin, look at the floor between the hands. Stay looking at the floor as you press yourself back. So think long fold at the hips so the knees can be a little bit bent, butt sticking out. Let's do two more. Rolling forward, all the way through. Floating up dog, chest opens. And then round the spine. Stick the butt out, bend the knees, look forward, press back, down dog. We're going to do just one more. Roll it forward. Find your moment. Press it back. And then coming down to the mat. Let's lower the knees and take a quick frog pose. So the knees are going to slide out wide, feet behind the knees. You can lower down to the elbows, or you can stay up on the hands here. If there's any props that you like for your frog, you can definitely use those. And if you've worked a lot of flexibility earlier in the day, you don't necessarily need all of this right now. But if you're just like starting out, and especially if you're working on like straddle handstand skills, one arms or press, a little bit of stretching can be really nice. So feel free to take more time in these if you need. Let's bring the legs in. Let's work that a little bit more actively. Let's take one leg out to the side and lift up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're going to lift the leg up, fight the urge to fall to the side, reach the leg to the inside, and that's okay. Put it down. Stretch over that leg for a moment. So take a few more moments to stretch here, or when you're ready, slide out to your half straddle position. So in the half straddle, I have my hips lined up with my ankle. I try to keep the leg mostly straight. You could always put a support under your knee like a cushion. That can feel really nice. Yeah, and let's just switch to the other side. So the other leg lifts up for about 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, hold the leg up, 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 reach to the side, and let it go, fold over that leg. And then let's slide out to our half straddle. So give yourself time here. If there's any variations you like to take in these positions, always feel free to explore. Don't feel like just because I'm saying this particular way of doing it, that's the only way to do it. So many good ways to practice this. Okay, so let's come out of that. Let's send the legs out in front for a moment. And we're gonna lift up into a reverse tabletop position. So I like to do it with the fingers forward. If you can do it with the fingers out to the side or back, that can also work. If you have a little bit of trouble getting off the ground for this next one, if you need more clearance, you can always take 2 yoga blocks and place them underneath your hands. So we're gonna lift up into our reverse tabletop. lifting the hips up, finding this stretch across the chest and front delts. And then you're going to practice pulling your hips back behind the hands, hovering the hips, maybe lift one leg or both legs. And then we'll go again, reverse tabletop, stretch the chest, draw the hips back, hover. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, sit down, fold forward. One more time, we'll lift up into our reverse tabletop. One option would be to have the legs out further in front and the hands turned out, so you can find an easier inclined plank. And a fun move to play with would be keep the hips up and rock a little bit side to side. And release. So one final movement to get us warmed up, just kind of completing our leg lift series. We'll come back to our tabletop. You'll find that nice push out of the shoulders, and we're going to bring a leg back behind us and lift. For 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, hold the leg up, try to tuck the tailbone under, drive the heel up, straighten the knee. Okay, let that go, other leg back. For 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, hold the leg up, tuck the tailbone, round the back, and let it go. Sit back into a child's pose. Chill for a moment. So feel free to stay in this child's pose for a minute. So from here, you should be pretty warm at this point if you followed along. So if you're going to move into your handstand practice, take whatever extra time you need to work what you know your body needs. We have a whole bunch of videos up on handstand alignment, how to balance handstands. So if you're in need of resources on that, just check some of the other videos on our page. Let us know if you have questions. Let us know if you have requests. Thanks for joining today. Have a great practice.